Welcome back to Mouse Guard, everybody. We've just resolved some mousy justice issues and dealt with like a sour old mouse, and it's time to make our way back to Elmos. And hopefully this time, with a much shorter, much less dangerous journey, you won't have as much trouble this time around. So for this test, it's a Pathfinder, as always, and it's nearby, and it's a well-traveled route. So it's just Ob2 Pathfinder test. Who's gonna lead the guard pack this time?
I'll do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Jasper. So obstacle 2 Pathfinder test, please.
Okay. Wait, where do I enter the obstacle?
Oh, you just put it in when it's not, the ob isn't as nuanced in this character sheet. You can just click roll and just put in the number of dice you're rolling for Pathfinder. Is anybody helping on this test?
I can. Is it appropriate for me to help with labor because I'm moving the cart?
No, in this case it would be like Scout, Hunter, or Weather Watcher, or obviously Pathfinder if you have it.
Okay. Well, I feel like I'm too tied up dealing with the cart.
Okay, you're at the back and you're like, it keeps getting stuck on
Hauling
stuff.
shit. Like,
Yeah. This is like kind of below you too. Like, didn't the bee bottoms always have like other mice, like labor mice, to do this shit for you?
Yeah, we're fucking rich.
Yeah,
We're
exactly. This kind of labor is below you.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't join the guard to lug a fucking cart around.
But I'll do it because I'm a good person.
That's
Good
right.
old mouse person.
Good old mouse.
Okay, Wallman, how about you? Are you gonna assist in the
Yeah.
pathfinding? Okay.
Yeah, I can use Scout or Scout.
Alright, so you're kind of on your own. Okay, go ahead and make your roll there. Nice, yeah, handily done. So mark your success, and you make your way to Elmos. So y'all have been to Elmos before, and recently, though maybe you weren't exactly expecting to return. When you get to Elmos, things are much as you left them, though a bit drier. There hasn't been a big rain in a while. When you get here, the Grey Fur Luther says that Tristan lives in a house. He points it out. He lives in a house, over yonder with his wife and his two daughters, and that he thinks that that's the best place to take him to rest. If you take him there, then someone can go and fetch a doctor and and handle that. But he looks to you, Jasper. He says, but there's also the question of our captives here now. And I think he thinks for a second. He's like, Jasper, and he puts his arm around your shoulder, puts a little paw around your shoulder. He's like, come, and he like kind of takes you aside. He wants to talk to you for a minute.
Okay.
And Luther sort of takes you aside, and he says, now I've been thinking on the road. I've been thinking about those two, and about how dangerous it might be if word gets out that, well, we were attacked at all. That there's mice fighting mice out in the territories. I mean, what would people think? Word's bound to spread. This kind of thing doesn't happen too often. And he kind of like looks up at the big tree that makes up most of Elmos, and he says, with the guard spread as thin as we are, well, I feel worried about this, Jasper.
I think the local law will be, we can convince them to keep it hush-hush, but are you suggesting that we don't tell Tristan's family what happened?
Pains me to say so, but that might be the right thing to do.
Yeah. We don't want to spread panic.
And he looks back over your shoulder at the other two, Valmond and Lorelei, and he says, and I'll trust you to keep your fellow guards mice quiet on this.
Oh, of course. They understand.
Are we within earshot of this?
No. He specifically
Okay.
like took him away.
Okay.
Yeah, they understand.
So I think he says to you, now these two, these troublemakers, they're like to disappear into the system here for some time. Things in Elmos are complex. If it ain't to do with trade, not about wood, moss, or medicine, well, the family heads take their plentiful time dealing with these things. They'll end up in a cell someplace for, well, long enough to get them to think about what they done. And I'm fine with that. Whatever they think is justice is fine by me. Elmos, they're not a violent folk, far as I've seen. And we should be able to leave them in their care. It's just, well, mice get gossipy, you know? Could be dangerous.
Sure.
But if you can keep them quiet, especially that little one, well, I think we'll be all right. Now, you say you're going back to Lockhaven after this.
Yeah.
Well, be sure to tell Gwendolyn what you saw. This is something she'll want to know about. You give each other a little salute, and yeah, and then you kind of break to attend to your business. So
Break.
before you go to Lockhaven, you do all have a chance now to we could take a player's turn. So you can rest and use some of those checks and get rid of some of those conditions. So here in the shady boughs of Elmos, what do y'all want to do? Who has checks? Everybody gets one. Who has extras? I think, yeah, y'all are starting to accumulate some.
I have 3.
Nice. Okay, cool. All right, so you got 3. Jasper, you get 1, and Walmond, you have 2, right? Because you used Inquisitive against yourself.
I have 1 on my sheet right now.
Yeah, you get a free one when you take a.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I have a total of 4 then.
It's less.
I think I'll probably have an extra one to give
It's
away.
less cruel than Torchbearer in that regard, where it's like, oh, I didn't earn any checks. You get nothing. You're still sick. Okay, well, let's start with you, Lorelei. What do you want to do?
Well, I have a bunch of conditions, which I would love to get rid of.
Yeah, you do.
So maybe I go back to my friend Tom's house again.
Okay, all right.
And
I mean,
like-
Tom's happy to see you, but he's a little like, oh, so soon.
Yeah. No, and yeah, so Lorelai, like, kind of embarrassedly is just like, yeah, I know, we didn't expect to be coming back through here, but
Yeah.
like, guard doesn't pay for my room and board, so if I could stay here, that would be nice.
Okay. So, you want to, let's take a look here. So, recovery. So if you're recovering from, what's the first condition you have to get rid of?
Hungry and
Hungry
thirsty.
and thirsty. So you just gotta eat. Okay, so you either gotta buy food, or you have to make it yourself.
My friend won't feed me?
No, I don't think so. Let me double check. I think it's only family that does that. Let's take a look. So recovering from your conditions, as soon as I can find the page here, it's like a tiny little section. Yeah, they all usually require, here we go, recovery. So recovery order, hungry and thirsty, it's an OB1 harvester, cook, baker, brewer, or resources test to acquire a meal or drink.
Okay, so maybe I don't go to Tom's
Okay.
house right away. I go, like, buy some food.
Okay, yeah, so you go out into the market. There's a bustling trade here, mostly of like tree-related foods. So like, you know, seeds and nuts. Maybe there's like
Nuts and
acorns.
whatnot,
Or whatever,
sure.
Yeah.
And can I use Haggler to make this resources test easier?
I think the way that works is, let's take a look here at Hagler. I'm gonna make a note of what page I'm on. Because yeah, that's definitely the point of Hagler, but it's already 1, so I don't know if you can make it any better. And there's no like,
Or, well, is it that it gives me an extra die rather than...
well, because there's no forking in this, and there's no other like tests to improve them. So let me take a look at what Hagler does. Hagler's a versus test. Passing it can raise or lower the obstacle. Okay, so Yes, and in this case, I guess if you could haggle a free meal because it's an ob 1 test. So yeah, lowering it to 0, but it's going to be a versus test against the person that you're haggling with. So
Yeah, well, I gotta haggle.
Gotta haggle. It'll never
I go
get
in the
better.
market
Okay.
to like buy some seeds or whatever.
Okay. If you succeed, yeah, it'll be like you'll get the meal for free. And if they succeed, it'll be an ob 2 resources test to buy the meal.
Great.
Because there's a risk in haggling. So okay. So let's see. Do you go to who do you go to? Do you go to like a tavern and like buy a meal there, or do you buy like from a vendor?
I buy like the makings of a meal.
Okay. Sure. Okay. So let's say I'll roll Haggler 3.
Okay. I get to roll Haggler 2.
I got 2 successes.
Better fork in some stuff.
What do you got for Haggler?
My Haggler is 2.
Oh, okay.
So at best, I can tie.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not helpful. Well, poop. Could have just rolled resources 1.
You could have, yeah, but no, you had to gamble. How many resources do you have?
I have 1 resource.
Okay.
So I could have fed myself if I didn't try to haggle. But yeah,
Food
Lorelei
prices are so high in this town.
Yeah, so whatever. I'm just going to roll it.
Okay.
Maybe I can spend fate to make it better.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right, if you spend that fate and get a success, because it's been going so great for you so far.
I know. I've botched almost every one of these rolls.
All right, so you're still at a tie. Do you want to reroll with will, or do you want to break it in there? Well, you can't earn checks. You can't earn checks during
the player turn, right?
Yeah.
So I may as well we'll go to will.
Okay.
All right, so that's I guess it remains to be seen if it's a passed or failed haggler test, or does it count as a fail?
It remains to be seen. It ends up being the final result.
Okay, well I'll roll my will of 2.
Okay, I got 1 success. Oh my god. So you just spend this check like arguing with somebody in the market, and they're like, "Look, this is how expensive it is. You won't find a better price anywhere." And you're like, and it just like arguing.
And I'm like trying to call in favors that just obviously aren't there.
Yeah.
And
You're like, "But I'm a guard mouse," and they're like, "I don't see a cloak on you."
yeah, like where's your cloak?
And you're all angry, right?
I'm still really angry. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. So you've got 3 checks left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Walmond, why don't you use one of your checks? What would you like to do with your leisure time here in beautiful Elmos?
I think I would like to find a very comfortable place to sleep.
Yeah. Tired is your first one? Yeah, because are you hungry and thirsty?
I am hungry.
Okay, you guys got to start there. So you got to deal with your hunger or thirst first. Do you want to harvest, cook, brew, bake, or buy your meal?
I want to cook it.
Hells yeah, you do. Okay. Sounds good. So it's an ob 1 cooking test.
All right. Easy. Wait, how do obstacles work in this?
Oh, just roll it. The number of successes will let you know. They work the same, but there's nowhere to plug them in.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, so mark off your hungry and thirsty. What do you make for yourself?
Okay. Let me.
You made your sweet Volman porridge.
Yeah, I did that. Okay, so mouse stuff. The porridge was with like nuts, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Before. Yeah. Damn. I guess this time maybe like some tea with like made from like pine needles or something, and then I don't know what to eat. What can mice eat besides grains and
like mushroom steaks? You could
or
make
berries.
Yeah,
you can make like popcorn, but it would be like the size of your head.
Oh.
Like
yeah, just like a giant.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
A
put
single
basically-
kernel of,
Makes
but you'd have
me
to like,
popcorn.
you'd have to put
It's
it
like
in
an ostrich egg, right?
Yeah.
Like that you just sort of like place into the fire, and then it's like, boom.
Yeah, you'd have to duck and cover, right? You'd have to like, put it in there and just wait, and then it would just blow up.
Yes.
And you're just like cutting
That's
pieces.
so awesome.
Yeah, let's do that. I like
Giant
that.
popcorn. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you recover from your hungry and thirsty. Jasper, what about you? Do you want to get rid of hungry and thirsty as well?
Yeah, I'm hungry too.
Okay. All right. So how do you want to get your food? Harvest, cook, brew, bake, or buy? I mean, your resource is pretty high, right?
Yes. So for harvest, do I need a specific skill for that?
Yeah, there's the harvester skill.
So I can't use like survivalist to find food.
No, that's
Okay.
mostly like shelter and stuff.
I'll just buy food then.
Okay. All right. Obstacle 1.
Find a pub.
Yeah, totally. Some delicious mousy barley wine.
Roll.
Getting mouse drunk.
Will I
You have
roll?
4 dice, right?
So just roll 4.
Yeah, just roll
for
4.
resources.
That's right. Nice. Okay. Yeah, you buy yourself food.
Gosh.
So I love the sort of triptych of the three of you, like, Wallman like making his own food, and Jasper eating, like food made by someone else, and then Lorelai just desperately like trying to haggle for food. Like, come on, like I'm poor, give me something.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really funny too if it was like I was trying to buy honey that had my family's brand on it. I'm like,
Yeah. Oh no, you can't afford this.
That's
This is
me.
bee bottom honey.
I was like, I know.
Aw.
Awesome.
That was my turn again.
Yeah, it's back to you.
Am I forever banned from making the Ob1 resources roll?
No. You can just find someone else and try to just make the roll.
Okay, because that's literally the only way I'm going to be able to feed myself. So
Okay.
I'm going to make that Ob1
All
resources
right.
roll.
You're just like, forget you, merchant. I'll find somebody else to sell me this thing.
Can I roll in traits?
Yeah. You can use them if you haven't used them this session.
All right, well, I'm going to use independent. Because I'm just like, I was trying to like haggle and all this stuff, and I like thought of going to ask Jasper, and then like, no, I have to do this like myself. I have to. So I like redouble my efforts,
Awesome.
and go like to another part of town and try to like, yeah,
There you go.
get fed. I get 2 meals.
Yeah.
I'm
So did you?
that hungry.
Yeah, you didn't even make the resource test before. You just made a.
No, I didn't get to.
Okay. All right, so mark your successful resource test. Congratulations.
And then that means that I go up to resources too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, because it's
One
you need.
pass, and a number of fails equal to my score minus 1.
Yeah.
So,
Right,
it-
so I have
when
2
you're at
resources. Good stuff.
pass.
All right, yeah. So maybe you learned something from haggling. You're not used to being on this side of the economic process.
Mhm,
You're usually
yeah.
like, no, I have the thing, and you buy the thing, and now you're like, wait a second, I have to use money to exchange for goods and okay. And yeah, you learned now, so you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's how it works.
Ah.
Good. Okay. All right. So Wallman, you've got another one, right? That you earned from failing that Pathfinder test. So do you want to try to find somewhere to sleep now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So dealing with tired requires either a good night's rest with an Ob 3, either with a good night's rest or an Ob 3 health test. If you pass the health test, you shrug off your fatigue and just soldier on. Doesn't matter how well you slept. To get a good night's rest, you need a friend, your parents, Gwendolyn, like the guard, or an Ob 2 resources test for a night at the inn. So, which one do you want to make? Do you want to make the Ob 2 resources test, or do you want to make the Ob 3 health test and just sleep under a log somewhere?
I think I want to make the resources test.
Okay. All right. So, Wallman, you've got how much resources do you have?
3.
3. All right, that's not bad. You can use Inquisitive or Stoic to aid the roll if you want to, if you have a way to justify it. Otherwise, just roll your 3 dice and hope for 2 out of 3.
I will try to use Stoic because I guess like I'm just very patient in like if there's like if the inn was full or something or like they don't have rooms but they have like a cot somewhere that's like
Yeah.
gets set up in a hallway or something, I'm just like, whatever. I'm fine with
Yeah,
that.
you don't need anything fancy. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, mark that you use stoic, and then roll 4 dice.
That's used 4, right?
Yeah, used 4.
Yeah. All right. Oops.
There you go. Okay. So mark a successful resources test and slumber away your tired condition.
Nice.
Okay, so now, Jasper, you've used your 1 check. How many do you have left, Andrew?
I have 2.
Okay,
I can keep alternating with Walmond until.
So Wallman's out now. So
Okay,
now you can go again, but then you have to give your other one to someone else.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to recover from being angry.
Ah, always a difficult test to accomplish.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
as the tender paw, because it's a will test.
Yeah.
So how do I recover from?
So what's something that's interesting too for kind of like future planning? Like if you ever get to a player turn and you don't have a bunch of, if you're playing with me, this will never happen. But if you ever get to a player turn where you don't have a bunch of conditions, you can use healer to make basically like poultices that give you a bonus die on recovering conditions later. So if you get to town and you're like, oh, I only have hungry and thirsty and I have 3 checks, you can use one of your checks to be like, I'm going to make a tired poultice so that later I can recover from tired more easily.
Nice.
Make yourself some like Vicks Vapo Rub or whatever. You make yourself a Red Bull. So to get rid of angry, you actually have to get rid of tired first. You can't.
I thought I couldn't sleep until I was.
It's hungry, thirsty. It's not the order they're on the sheet.
Okay.
Their recovery order is hungry and thirsty, then. Oh yeah, no, angry then tired. Yeah, I was looking at injured. Yeah, so you can't go to sleep angry.
Angry naps.
Yeah. Oh, this sucks. Oh, I'm recovering. All right, so try to recover from your anger. So to master your anger requires an Ob2 will test. If you succeed, your anger fades. If you fail, your anger sticks with you. You may test again to recover when appropriate. Either in the GM's turn if you spend checks, or buy a recovery test during the player turn. Describe what you did to help the anger pass. Take a walk, read some poetry, kick a beetle.
Kick a beetle. Can I get help recovering?
No, because to help you have to spend checks.
So if I give Jasper a check.
But Jasper doesn't have a check now when you're making the test. So you'd have to give Jasper the check now instead of going now, and then Jasper would have to be like, okay, we're gonna both. I guess you could spend them both now and make that test if that's what Jasper wants to do with that check.
Mm-hmm. And then it is technically feasible to
yes,
get help.
but basically what you're doing is you're turning the decision over to Jess, because Jess could be like, thanks for the check, I'm gonna get better from tired.
Well, like obviously I'm giving my check to Jess.
Okay.
I can just try to recover from tired, and that's fine. Also, or sorry, from
angry. Yes, without.
But the way I'm gonna do it involves Jasper. So
Okay.
basically, Lorelai is gonna go and apologize to Jasper for being
Sure.
so like uppity and angry and all this kind of stuff. So she's just like, I've been like really crappy. I should go to Jasper. So she goes and like finds Jasper wherever he is in town. And she says like, Jasper.
So where is this where do you find Jasper? Are you still in the Mouse Guard sports bar that we talked about before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's totally where I am.
So yeah, I like track you down in the bar.
Okay.
And yeah, like Lorelai kind of walks up all awkward and like shuffly with her head hanging down. It's just like, Jasper, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for lashing out and yelling at you back on the road after the fighting. It's just never fought other mice before, and it was really upsetting, and it's scary. I didn't think that we would see that kind of thing. And I'm glad that you're leading this patrol and that you're here with us.
Okay.
She gets all like misty-eyed and
He throws his arms around you.
Aw.
He's like, I I'm so grateful for your opinion. You're such a strong-willed young lass, and I think you made the right decision. I'm so proud.
Get her in a headlock. Oh, you little.
Oh, you little rascal, you.
Okay, so mechanically your choice here is, and you can strategize this as a team, whether it's more effective to give Lorelei a better chance to recover from angry, or to split your effectiveness a little bit and try to take a gamble on recovering both tired and angry. Because how many dice are you rolling to recover from angry?
I'm rolling 2 dice, and I need 2 successes, but I'm probably going to end up spending a persona to aid my recovery, because, you know, it was like a little moment. I feel like that's kind of what persona points are for.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I should actually be all right.
Okay.
In theory, because I get 4 dice.
Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see. Good luck.
I don't have any fate points.
I was going to say, hopefully it won't come down to fate.
Okay, so I'll just roll my 4 dice. And this is going to tax my nature.
Someone in chat mentioned that when the two of you hug, it makes like a squeaky toy noise. All right, go ahead and roll.
Yeah, and so I'm tapping my nature to do this, and so it's going to...
It'll tax your nature by 1.
Put it down by 1, because it's out of our nature to...
That's right. Hug it out.
Hug
it's a very human process here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I get 2 successes, and I'm no longer angry.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
All right, so your anger is dispelled. So that means that it falls on you, Jasper, to use that last check. Do you want to try to recover from tired?
Definitely.
All right, which would you prefer, an Ob 3 health test or an Ob 2 resources test?
Resources.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so you're gonna pay for a room in the inn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go ahead and make that test.
Okay.
Unfortunately, no. There are no rooms available for Jasper tonight. Maybe there's like a bunch of travelers that came in the night before, and there's just no place for you. So you end up like sleeping outside or whatever, and it's not great. You could hope for better, but yeah, you just can't scrape it together. Tired forever. So cool. So you've done your PC turn. Everybody's used up all their checks. You've recovered from some, if not all, of your conditions, and now you can press on. Now, do you want to? And this is kind of your call, patrol leader. Do you want to stay engaged in the like judicial process of these 2 rebel mice, or do you want to just head back to Lockhaven? I mean, ultimately, it's your call, but you can take it to your guard mice to ask them what they want to do. But you're still kind of on mission.
Yeah. Well, what transpired before we started, like, eating and napping and such? Like, did we actually take him home, or...?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Luther sort of took over, right? Like, Luther took Tristan home to get him cared for, made up some excuse for his wife, like... There was the whole like cop drama thing where like he's like covering for him, and they go to get a doctor, and like all that happened like off screen. Also, the fugitives were taken to the Elmos judiciary system, and then they just they were like, no, we'll take care of them, and away they go. It's up to you. You could just leave them here and be like, cool. Well, you have all the things. Luther's going to stay here and tell them about the deal. So you can stay if you want to stay involved, or you can leave and head for Lockhaven.
What is the woman's name in Lockhaven?
Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn. I think we have a lot of things to tell Gwendolyn.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should head out for Lockhaven.
Okay. Wellmond, what do you think?
I definitely agree. I think we should wash our hands of these people.
Yeah, definitely. wash your paws of these ne'er-do-wells and make your way. Okay. What about you, Lorelai? Does that sound good?
Yeah, I'm not gonna put up a fight this time.
Okay. All right. Well, then, to safely return to Lockhaven, 'tis but a simple obstacle to Pathfinder test.
Okay.
Here we go.
Right.
So who's making that? Who's making that test? Who's on rotation for this one? How's everybody doing for advancing their Pathfinder? Oh, yeah, y'all are coming along.
I need 1 success in order to advance.
Yeah, it's not bad. Do you want to give Lorelai a shot at this one?
Sure.
This is presumably a safer part of the trip as well.
Yeah, Pathfinder 2. Yeah.
Sure. And I'll help with, I don't know, I guess Weather Watcher.
Okay, sounds good.
So am I getting help from both of you?
Yep.
It sounds like it, yeah. So it's 4
Okay.
days. 4 days against up to you.
Knock it out of the park.
Nice.
Why?
Oh yeah, killed it. All right, so Mark and Advanced Pathfinder, and
Nice.
yeah, and you make it to you make it to Lockhaven, basically unscathed.
Sick.
Lorelai's just like, I know the way this time because I got lost.
Yeah, totally.
Blazed this trail on the way down.
Yeah.
Got a girl.
Yeah, so you pass through Elmos, pass through Ivydale, and return to Lockhaven. And by the time you get to Lockhaven, summer has sort of officially begun. The sort of dampness of spring has mostly passed. It's starting to get hotter, and the days are long by the time you arrive in Lockhaven. You get there, and it's it's the Lockhaven that, especially for you, Jasper, that is it's home, right? It's the great citadel of the Mouse Guard, and it's always nice to come back to it because you feel like there's this sense of always leaving, right? It's always the gates behind you as you travel out into the dangerous world at the end of winter. So it's nice to come back, and when you go into Lockhaven, there's the inside it's basically like you're inside like a massive cave, and there's all these like lanterns inside, and it's warm and bright, and there's the sound of mice going about their business and colors everywhere, right? Because the guard lives here, and so in a regular town it might be hard for guard mice to kind of tell like any given mouse apart aside from their fur color, but here it's like cloaks of all colors, mice bustling here and there, Tenderpaws training with wooden swords in the yard, and the sound of little tiny hammers on little tiny anvils, crafting mouse swords and arms. So what's cool is that you actually you guys have an opportunity for another player turn here. So everybody will get another check, and you can kind of finish off your business. So because this is very much home for you, Jasper. You can, because you have lots of people here. Your family is here, right?
I don't remember now.
I know for sure that you your enemy is from here, and your home is Lockhaven, so that's where your parents are from.
Yeah.
They run a brewery, right? So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So
Oh, they're pretty old at this point.
Yeah,
if you want to
they're
spend
not
your
really
check,
alive anymore.
if you want to spend your check, you can. Yeah, I mean they might not be alive. It might just be the family home, right? If you want to spend your check, you don't have to make a roll. You can just get rid of tired. That's just like a thing you can spend your check for because you have family here.
Okay.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the brewery. Like your parents are brewers. Did they start the brewery, or has it been passed down like generation to generation?
No, I think it was kind of their passion. I don't know, like the two of them just started it up themselves and probably hoped that I would become a brewer too, but I just didn't care. As a child, I just wanted to play with swords and be in the guard immediately.
You wanted to go to Tashi Station and pick up some power converters?
Yeah.
Well, Jasper would have grown up on an army base, basically.
Yeah.
So Jasper would have just been like, "Oh, look at all these cool
Yeah.
buttons," right?
Yeah, it's like, screw this water farming. Why would I want to do that?
Exactly. Okay. So who are your parents both alive or neither of them or?
I don't think they are because
Okay.
I'm 52 years old.
It's true. Yeah.
So I don't know how long mice live, but
I mean,
I
in
feel like
this,
they're not alive
I mean, no
anymore.
mouse in real life lives even 50 years. So
Right.
they just have
but
human lifespans, so that we can gauge how like old to anticipate. So they
Actually-
could that one of them could still be alive, or they both still could, but they'd be very old, and they certainly wouldn't be running a brewery.
Maybe they are, and they're super old.
Cool. They're just
Like,
ancient mice.
They're like in their 80s, and
Okay.
Do they just like sit in rocking chairs?
I was about to say,
like,
so when
part
you
of the
come
brewery?
back, so do they forget like the time is passing? Like every time you come back to home, like they're there on the porch and they just see their war hero
Yeah.
son coming home over and over.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's so
one of those
good.
weird things where like you're as old as your parents are almost in your eyes. Like you're seeing them get older and older, and you're old too.
Yeah.
And they're every time you come home, they're just like like you said, sitting on the porch.
Yeah, their little like mousy blankets on their legs.
Yeah.
Your dad's sipping a beer because God forbid
Yeah.
he ever like has the stein out of his hand, out of his little paw.
Yeah, they would have like passed the brewery on to.
So yeah, I mean, do you have brothers? Do you have
other
brothers and
people,
sisters?
but I don't know.
Okay. So who's in charge of the brewery now? Like a cousin or just someone not in your family?
Let's make it my friend Lily.
Okay. That sounds good.
So they were like always around, and you got to know them because they were like the kid your parents never had who actually gave a
Yeah.
crap about beer.
Maybe I like kind of grew up with this person. Maybe she was like a little younger than I was, and
Right. God, there's so much like stuff in Jasper's past, like regards to the parents. Like, I'm sure at some point they like had hoped that you and Lily would get married and like take over the brewery and stuff. But they're like,
Mhm.
no, I have to war. There's
Yeah.
weasels to stab, and so you left, and
But
she's probably
honor.
heartbroken, but she like loves your parents so much that she was like, no, I'll stay, and like.
Yeah.
So did she like remarry? Like, did she marry somebody else, or is she still kind of like just old and like loves the brewery?
I'd like her to be married. I'd
Yeah,
like her
okay.
to be like a
You don't want her living this tragic life.
I'd like her to be like a family man,
Mhm.
with like a nice little family.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so she has like a husband and some kids, and do
Yeah.
they live in the like? Because I imagine your parents have probably like a big house because they're they're decently well off. Does she live
Yeah,
there,
she-
like there with them, like in the house that's attached to the brewery, or?
Yeah, the brewery is probably like a property that consists of like several buildings.
Mhm.
So her and her family probably live in a smaller structure
Cool.
on that property. But it's a house. It's not like a guest house or anything.
They live in a small shed
Yeah.
around back of the wheat patch.
Right.
They nest
Oh,
under
they're-
the hops.
They're not slaves. They have a nice house, but it's not as big as my parents' house.
Sure. Yeah. That's cool. Okay.
Sort of a
So
homestead.
what? So you just go home and like rest there. It's time to sleep. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I start telling them like exciting stories and just like fall over onto a chair, fall asleep.
Oh, so cute. Okay.
Like on the porch in the sun, you're just like telling a story and then kind of like.
I had such an amazing
Yeah. Well, let me
feel
tell
like
you
nice
about.
and warm, and I fall asleep on the porch.
Yeah. So good. Cool.
Yeah,
I'm just
can it be summer in the real world so that I can nap on a porch?
I know. With a beer.
Sounds real
This is
nice.
like it's like the goddamn hamburger conversation of the other day.
Yeah, but even on a grander scale.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So you're gonna spend your check to rest. Wallman, you've got a check as well. Do you have conditions left that you would like to free
No.
yourself from?
I am without conditions right now.
Condition free. You are unconditional. Okay. Well, what would you like to do then? You have an opportunity to get ahead of the game, and pursue like a personal goal. What do you feel like? Doing?
I guess
What
me to
would-
quit my job.
What would Wallman do upon returning to Lockhaven?
I think I don't know anyone here, so, or at least I don't have a friend here. Are there
Important distinction. Oh, I know them.
Are there books in this world?
Yeah, there'd be like scrolls and stuff. Sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're totally books.
I guess what I want to do is like I'm scheming a little bit. So I don't want to say it out loud, but I definitely want to go find like I don't know if the guard has like an archive of past battles,
yeah, definitely
stuff like that. Yeah, I think I want to go dig around there for an account of like a particularly grisly weasel encounter.
Nice. Yeah, like some ancient accounting of like the first Weasel War or something.
Yeah, just like the most gruesome age of weasel conflict.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you go to the like guard citadel and you know go to the great hall of knowledge and start digging around in there. Let's see what skill you'd use for that. Well, that'd be lore mouse for sure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at what the lore mouse. Let's see what their obstacles are, so we can see how hard you have to nerd to be successful. There we go, lore mouse. So just the thing. So study the ways and habits of animals, perform rudimentary communication, and discern the nature of the animal. So beasts of fur for lore mouse. So that's like you're looking for weasels. But I would definitely give you like an advantage die for being in like Lockhaven's own like personal library. So
right.
Okay. So roll 3 dice. You need obstacle 2. There you go. Okay.
Nice.
So now you can note, like maybe you like take a scroll with you, or you like copy one onto some spare paper, like a scribe helps you. But you can use that as a tool later on, or if you get in an argument, you could use it as evidence. Like mark on your character sheet that you have like this like narrative object, this like weasel butchery story that you can then roll out later when you need it.
Okay.
Cool. All right, and then Lorelei, what do you want to do? You've returned home to the great fortress of the guard.
Well, I guess I'll just try to get rid of tired. Probably the most logical thing. I don't really have like a goal.
So you can, because you're in Lockhaven, you don't have to spend anything. You don't have to roll. You just spend the check, and you get put up in the barracks.
Yeah, so I just like go back to my usual bunk or whatever.
Yeah, there's like a tender paw, like barracks or whatever, where you go and
bag down and like go through my little trunk of my like Foot Locker or whatever.
Yeah, as I said, the Arlie Ermy of mice shouts at you about how you're a maggot and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So you go back and I think that there's like a bunch of like brand new like tender paws that have just like sort of settled in to the barracks. They've just like left their homes. They're all getting settled in and talking about like how excited they are to like join the guard.
Oh, and I'm like totally too cool for them, and I just like blow past them and like throw down my like battle worn rucksack and like shield that's been used to dig a freaking grave, and like got a crow feather, sticking out of my, which is probably like the little tiny like dander or whatever.
Yeah, the little fluffy one, like a tiny bit of black on the end. Yeah.
And like kind of like collect my things, like I'm packing up to like not be in this barracks anymore, but I just like crash there for a few hours to sleep and then like get all my shit together and leave.
Yeah, you like crawl into like an empty bunk with no like bed, like no bedding on it. It's just like a little mattress, and you like fall asleep on your bag.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. So you recover your tired.
I'm healthy now,
and you're ready to roll. Okay, cool. Well, we'll let's take our last break here, and we'll grab our briefing with Gwendolyn at the start of the next time, and we can get started on the next mission.
Cool.
All right, sounds good. Stick around, everybody. We got another hour ahead of us. We'll be right back.